In this video, we're going to be going over example number 2 in lesson 9.1, translations. Okay, remember a translation is a slide. It moves every point of a figure the same distance in the same direction. Okay. All right, so example number 2, it says ABCD is a parallelogram. Use arrow notation to write a rule that describes the translation of ABCD to A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. All right, in our objective, this is the third part of the objective. We're going to write rules for translations of two-dimensional figures. Okay, notice the translation, if you go from ABCD to A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime, the figure stays the same shape and the same size, meaning the length of AB is equivalent to the length of A prime, B prime, okay, as is all of the other lengths. BC is the same length as B prime, C prime, so the lines stay the same length in the new image figure. Okay, we have to figure out, they want us to figure out what's the rule, meaning how do I get from this figure, the original figure, to the image figure? What do I do? Okay, well, we know that the figure does some sort of slide on the coordinate plane, so we have to essentially figure out, to be able to write a rule, we have to figure out what is the change, the horizontal change, which is your x, right? How far does the original image either go left or right, like the x-axis, and then what is my vertical change, which is what's happening to the y coordinate. Okay, is the figure, right, the y is like the y-axis, is the figure, when you move from the original to the image, is it going to the left or right, or is it going up or down? Okay, so horizontal change, what's the change? The x coordinate is, you have two options. It's either going left or right. And if it's going left, we're going to subtract. If the coordinate is moving right, we're going to add. Okay, think of a number line. Left, you are going down in numbers. Right, you are going up in numbers. The vertical change, we have to figure out what's happening to the y coordinate. Is it going up, which means you would be adding. Like a thermometer, when you go up on a thermometer, the number gets bigger. Or is the coordinate moving down, which means you would have to subtract. All right, so let's look at our figures here. We have our original figure, A, B, C, D, and our image figure, A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. All right, let's check point A. Let's see, how does point A get to point A prime? Well, if we start at A, we have to figure out what's the horizontal change. What's going to be my change in my x coordinate? Well, is it going to move left or right? Well, it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. So it goes 5 units left. Right, so we start here, go 5 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it goes down 1 unit to get to A prime. So 1 unit down. So the way that we can write that rule, we have to figure out what's going to be my change to my x and my y coordinates. Here's the rule. X comma y, draw an arrow. We're using arrow notation like it tells us in the example. What we do, the horizontal change, is we take the x, and since we go 5 units left to get from A to A prime, we subtract 5, so it's x minus 5, comma, y minus 1, because it's then 1 unit down, right? We go 5 units left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 unit down. which means you take your y coordinate and you subtract 1. Because down means subtraction. All right, remember left means subtraction, that's why it's x minus 5. And down means subtraction, that's why it's y minus 1, because we go 1 unit down. So this is actually our rule for this parallelogram. It should be, since it's a translation, that all the points from A, B, C, D translate to A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. They all translate at the same distance in the same direction. All the points should go 5 units left and 1 unit down. We already checked A. Now let's check B to B prime. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units left and 1 unit down to get to B prime. Let's do C. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units left, 1 unit down. D, to get to D prime, goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units left and 1 unit down. So it works for all of them. So here's the rule. You take the x coordinate, you minus 5 because it's 5 units left, and then you take your y coordinate and you minus 1 because it's 1 unit down. Let's do a check. This will be the last thing we do. A check, let's make sure that A goes to A prime with our rule. Well, let's start with the coordinates of A. The x comma y value for the A coordinate is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the coordinate for A is 3, 4. And we're going to use the rule to go to A prime. So we take our x value, it's x minus 5, so we take our A, so it's 3 minus 5, comma, then we take our y minus 1, we take our y value of A, 4 minus 1. Right, because we had to go from A to A prime, so we had to take our point, our A point 3, 4, and apply the rule to it. We took our x value, which was 3, and subtracted 5 because it went 3 units, 5 units left, 3 minus 5. Then we had to take our y coordinate for A and apply the rule, plug it in, and do 4 minus 1. So let's see, A prime should be, if we do 3 minus 5, it's negative 2. And then 4 minus 1 should be your y value, should be 3. So let's check to make sure that that's correct. If we go over on our coordinate plane, A prime, the point should be at negative 2, 3. And let's see if that's correct. Here's A prime. When we go over 1, 2, so it is negative 2. 1, 2, 3. That point is located at negative 2, 3, which means that we have the correct rule. This is the answer. The rule is x comma y goes to x minus 5, comma y minus 1. We just did a check here. All right, now try the got it number 1. Sorry, guys. Try the got it number 2, and then watch the video to make sure that you got it correct.